Hi guys, and welcome to another segment where I get amazing people in the chair, and I'm talking about really wow people from all walks of life who have life-changing stories, but they also offer a lot of value to you out there. Ingeborg, welcome to the platform.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here. Yeah.
Look, it's wonderful to have you here. I've always been a big fan of your work because I know how important it is on my own journey of having to sort myself out, right? And get the best of myself. So tell us a bit about what you actually do.
Yeah, well, I am, what you said, I'm from Holland. I am a business and personal relationship alchemist, and I help people, men, women, and couples moving away from the hardship and the problems they experience within the relationship realm at its broadest. So it could be business and it could be personal.
And I mean, people would say, oh, one of these coaches, I get it, they're super clever. But what they don't actually see is, and this is for the people who really want to be the best out there, they want to make a success of their life, they want to be happy, fulfilled, wealthy, all of this stuff. But this stuff really underpins all of this stuff, doesn't it? Relationship, business, all that. Even myself and my journey, unless you get this stuff sorted out, and we've all got stuff going on, it really hinders your progress, right? Getting forward in your boat, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It goes back to the childhood trauma, and we all have, well, to some extent, some trauma, some people some more than others. And that is at the base of all the problems. So if you don't solve that, then it will sort of lingers and it hinders you in all kinds of things in business and in your personal life.
Yeah, and it's very much like some people, they think it's one thing, right? But really, once you do a bit, a bit of work with them and you reveal a bit more, it's not what they thought it was, but you've got a lot of solutions to this stuff. I mean, I've seen you do some amazing work with some amazing people. It was highly successful, that's why I got you on here. It's not a joke, So tell us about some of the people that you've really turned around. I know some of these are real, they're high flyers, right? Some of these guys.
Yeah, they are, and most of them try to solve the problem themselves, or try to do a psychologist or stuff like that. And then in the end, they came to me, and we got to the root cause. We the layers of the trauma, sort of peeling the onion, so to speak, and we get to the core issue. And you have to get there to make to be able to deal with the problems, to deal with what they are experiencing in their lives now. And it doesn't matter if they're sort of high flying or not, but the high flyers, they have a lot of pressure on them as well. And sometimes they think they know the answer to their problems. They have the insights, they've read the books, they listen to the podcast, and they can't manage their own problems.
I do it myself, right? Look, it's that thing. Sometimes, really, I've seen it many times with people. Their intelligence, as good as it is in a certain area, it gets in the way to other things. It's actually a block. But look, what I love about you as well, Ingeborg, is look, you're not just a kind of, pretty face, like soft professional kind of, modality person as it is. You've got different sides to you. I mean, I know that you really challenge people, right? It can be a heavy way to walk with you, right? Which I think is cool, because that shows me you're getting down to the real stuff, right? You don't want the BS. The BS never really sorts out serious problems. I see a lot of this in coaching, right? So straight away when I see that stuff, I thought, well, that's interesting. This woman, she has to be the real thing, right? So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. Well, what I always say, I'm not learning you a trick. We have to build a strong foundation, and usually you don't have that, you as in people. Because you need that foundation, you need to go to the core, you need that foundation to change your life. And I think you refer to my analytical side and then the feeling side. I got both to my character, and I use both. Depending on the person in front of me, I can use both, and I can switch very easily between those as well. And people need that mirror. They need to see, oh, this is what's really going on, and they need a soft hand, to work towards the root cause, because it's not like I'm telling you, this is the problem, and you think, oh, okay, I'll change it. No, if it was that easy, everybody would do it, but it's not. It's a lot of pain, it's a lot of suffering, and people they don't want that, because people in general want to move away from pain to pleasure.
Yeah.
And we need to go to the pain to make it go away, to heal, and to change what you want to change.
So the cake and the stick really works then, does it? No, but it does in a funny way. I mean, I know I say that, I don't say that a lot. Haven't been through it all myself. But there is a part of that. There's a push and pull here with people. And I know even in the work that we do, I mean, we can't see what we can't see, Ingeborg, but that's the first thing you have to remember, all right? And sometimes other people can see a little bit more, they have another expertise. And, sometimes you've got to take people kicking and screaming towards what's good for them. I know I certainly have. I do that in my work too. It's part of my job to get the results and stuff like that. So it's the same, it's the same for you,
well,
right?
yeah, screaming is much, but they are crying, yeah. And yeah, you need that, but it's a very sort of fine line. Sometimes you have to push, sometimes you have to pull, sometimes you have to leave people, sometimes you have to give them a slight push, because at the end of the day, we need to go there where the trouble is, because there's no going around it. You have to go through it. And I take them by the hand, obviously, to go to that place where they need to be, that inner child healing where they need to be. There's no other way, how you can build a foundation and change your life. So the trauma is there, people put it under the rug, they try different things, addictions, working, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not the solution to it. You have to go where the issue is.
No, 100%. You know what I mean? And as complicated as it sounds, and of course it is, in these separate areas, and of course I've sailed through most of them myself as well, right? Is that it's human beings are very, very much like that. We compensate and all this kind of crap, and really that's not helping us. And our lives and how we build our lives, and as I said, it is about the structure of our choices. But behind that, we've got the human elements, which are uncontrollable in many ways. If you look at feelings, you have to master them up to a point, right? But they can come in, like a storm or whatever. They can come in, come through. So that's another part which needs to be navigated. And I see you're very good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, the thing is, most people have never learned how to navigate the emotions or their feelings. They weren't allowed, or there was too much trauma in their life. So they start to develop survival mechanisms, and usually it's not the ones who's good for them, it's the ones to survive, hence the word. But there is a way to learn how to navigate those feelings, and be able to locate it in your body, because it's tangible. You can locate it, and then you can connect to it. That's your inner child. And then learn that it's okay to have those feelings. It's not, because if you've never learned it, it's sort of overwhelming. That you don't know what to do with it. But if you learn it, and I'll teach people that step by step, what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And then you know how to do it, you get a grasp. It's very, very tangible. It's not like woo-woo that people think. It's very, down to earth. It's there, it's in your body, you can feel it. And then every time something happens, I always tell you have to go to the feelings, absorb them, feel them. It's okay that they're there, and then they go away. They sort of, Yeah,
no, it makes sense. I mean, that's why I was so happy to have you on the platform as well, because I know that these are things, ideas, modalities and all that, that are making the world better, changing the world, right? And helping people, and there are, some of us out there at times, we need, this help. So it's always a good thing, and forwarding the cause of everyone, all right? You know, and that's the idea. Because, look, there's an old thing that I always say about, and I love this saying, there's a few of them, it says, all ships rise in a high tide, right? You know, and they do, think about it, right? You know, so, you know, there's a lot of wars, a lot of stuff, you know, going on in the world where everyone's at each other. But, I mean, that's not a high tide, of course. But it works the other way too, you know, that all ships are going to rise in a high tide. So when things are better and everyone's contributing, this is for the betterment of everyone, right? We all want to be happier, freer, wealthier, more empowered, right, you know?
And don't give it a generational course like that you give it to your children and their children and whatever. So there's always someone that needs to stop the generational trauma, because that's what I see as well. A lot of people like taking it on from their parents and their parents or whatever. So there always has to be someone who stops that. And that's usually the people who are in, well, my chairs.
Look, so true, you know, and thank you for highlighting that point, because it really had a resonance with me. And it did, because, you know, I was very aware, and I still am even now, that it was for me, because of my life, for me to break the chains, no one else, for my children. Well, that would have been handed on and be another big, like, you know, organised crime, thing of all the pain that comes to that and all that. And, you know, you don't need to go down that road, because you can go other roads and have more, be happier. And you don't bring all that stuff into your life, right? You know? So, you know, I've had to teach my children that. It's very hard for them to have a father like me who's all over the press and, you know, with that kind of stuff, right? But there's good things in it as well, as long as you recognise stuff and you're strong enough, but to work on breaking them chains. So I really go with that, you know. I mean, you know, and I certainly know there's a lot of people out there, whether they understand this stuff or not, whether they're ready or not, they say, yeah, do you know what? I mean, that sense, like these people are talking. I wish maybe I could be in a position, or I could have some understanding where I could maybe have a go at something like that. That may be better, not just for me, but for the children, like the people around me. You know what I'm saying? Important issues, you know.
Yeah, and I choose it for myself as well. I've got 2 kids as well, and I made a very thorough decision of doing things differently from what I've been taught. So apparently I'm the one as well to break that chain.
Before we jump into that now, my new book was just hit bestseller on 2 categories, called Extraordinary, Stephen Gillen, The Search for a Life Worth Living. Look, really, I mean, you know, I think it comes from everyone, this generational stuff for everyone to break the chain. Because the world's moving forward at you know, breakneck speed anyway. So certainly the generation before was certainly like the next one that's coming along. They're sailing a different sea, right, you know? But, you know, it's about finessing the model, you know, in a way, right, you know? So I think if we're breaking the chains of some of the unhealthy stuff that went before, this goes a big way to the species elevating as a whole, surely. I mean, common sense would tell you that. That's my own experience as well, you know. So what would you just say, let's give a bit of value to people out there, what would you say to people out there who's really kind of struggling, like, you know, with their own stuff, where they are, say they're stuck. I know you deal with a lot of people who's stuck in a lot of kind of, you know, all of this stuff, narcissism, relationship stuff, trauma, attachment issues, and, you know, all of the abandonment, all of this stuff, right? You know, what would you say to people to really give them something out there?
Well, I always say that you have to feel it to be able to heal it. So that's one thing. And how you feel it or how you get to that place, well, maybe you need someone, because it's very hard to do on your own because of the way we've been brought and the way people are in general. And the same applies to that the strength you have, what keeps you in this situation, use that strength to change your situation. So that's 2 things which may speak to people, and especially like with narcissistic situations, that they find it very hard to get out of that. I've had clients like that as well, and I always say that there's a strength in you which keeps you in that situation, and you always have, or you can always make a choice. although it's hard, but use that strength and use that to make the change for you, for yourself and for your children, and do the stuff you need to do.
Yeah, I think as well, it's an important point to say. And we were saying about the intelligence and getting in the way. Circumstances and other emotional blocks or whatever can get in the way too. And this is why, just with this kind of stuff, to really make changes in that kind of stuff, it's a big burden, big torture for a lot of people, right? That's why they need someone to help them facilitate what that looks like and what steps they need to take, and that there's a process and what to do and what not to do. I mean, this is the thing why they need someone like you. You think, but it's very important. That's the missing piece that I see in a lot of people, because I've been through a lot myself. It's just the extra piece of that expert at the right time who has the answers, and you can really get out of that bad place that you thought you'd never get out of. Couldn't even understand why you're there really in the first place, but make them sweeping changes, right?
Well, but that's the thing, because most people say they want out of that situation where they're in, but the thing is, most of the things we do, or like 99% of the things we do, is unconscious. And this is where the problem is as well. So that's why you never really can't change things like that, which is so deep stuff and painful stuff and everything. You can't do it on your own, because you get to your own limitations. For people in general, it's nothing to do with intelligence or stuff like that. It's just that
it's your own limitations.
Yeah.
Of what you can cope with or what's doable, right?
Yeah. So you need someone to guide you to that place, to the unconscious place, and change it there. There's nothing to do with here, because most people come to sit in the chair at my place, consciously they know what's wrong, but that's not the place where you change it. It's not, because otherwise everybody would have done it on their own, You need to change it here, unconsciously. And so you make the unconscious conscious. That's what I do. That's what I help people with. And then you can change it. Otherwise it's a trick. I can tell you, do this, do that, and then when life...
Yeah, but the thing is as well about this is, look, this is the truth of it as well, is it's like playing yourself at cards. Right, really, if you're trying to, and you're dealing with a head that had the problem in the first place, or the thing, so you can't, this is why it's impossibly difficult to navigate that, right? And you need, this was my experience, and I say that just to really pin it in, and help people out there, having had my own experiences of it. So it's just to say what it is and what it's not, because there's a lot of people out there talk a lot of things. And, some are good, some are experts, some know what they're talking about, some haven't got a clue what they're talking about, and some haven't lived it. Experience is always the best teacher. So just to, reflect what you're saying from that professional standpoint, I get it. So I'm just putting that, putting that bit on top of it. Now, look, I know you're doing wonderful things, and you're flying back to Holland and all that soon. So what's next for you now then?
What's next? Well, helping more clients globally with my programs. I'll be on a TED Talk, and I'm spreading my word and my work, so to speak, to people who need it.
Yeah, you've got some great stuff coming up. You've got a TED Talk coming up as well. So just tell us, if you can, I'm sure you can, what's the title of that? What can we expect?
The title is Resilience and Hardship, Navigating Your Emotions to Transformational Growth.
Well, I'm going to be sure to have a look at that. I mean, having done a TED Talk myself as well, making the top 9 in the world, if I know what it's like to be in that spot, and I certainly know a good talk when I see it coming. So I know that one there's going to be, it's going to be one to watch, and I'm going to be looking at to watch that one. Resilience, hardship. Anyone who knows a lot about me, they know I fit very nicely with both them words, right? So it's right up my street, and I know you're helping a lot of people out there and clients, and I know that there's even waiting lists to work with you, Ingeborg, and I know they can find you. Where can people find you if they want to know more about you and all this kind of stuff?
Well, they can find me via my website, metamindbreakthrough.com. They can find me on the socials, on LinkedIn, under my own name, Ingeborg Mooiweer, Facebook, Instagram. All the socials, yeah.
Like this woman, she's the real thing, right? You know, I don't have no one sitting in this chair who I don't really know. I don't know their history. I don't know what it says on the tin, right? You know, believe you me, it's just as easy as that, right? So, you know, I'll just say that clearly as well. So, yeah, very happy to, you know, to have you here. You know, I know your work and all the rest of it, right? You know, happy to endorse that, knowing all the wonderful things that you do, right? And you know, there's so many more people that you're helping all the way through, right? Look, you've been here today in the studio and you've been working, you know, with us. We've been doing some stuff. How's that been for you?
It's been good. It's nice. It's nice. Yes, it's nice to give my insight and in my own way, and yeah, trying to spread the word. And yeah, it's been a lovely day.
Have they treated you like the star that you are? Yeah. They give you the treatment.
I felt like a princess, so that's nice. That's nice.
Great. Well, you know, and so you should. You know, everyone here, we work really, you know, hard. Not to say we know all the people that we work with. We only work with people who change the world. Here, right? You know, good people who mean business, right? You know, and know their craft, and you know, we're very thrilled and very happy to, you know, to work with them as well. So, look, you know, it's been a pleasure having you here. Have you got any last words for anyone out there at all? I'd like to give you that opportunity. So.
Well, if you're struggling with something as a listener, then, you know, please know that you don't have to do it on your own. You know, there's someone who can help you, and that you can have that life you really want to. It's possible for everyone.
No, 100%. You know, and this is what we're all about here as well. I'm living proof of that, you know. So look, thanks again for coming on the platform. Yeah. Real pleasure. I've been really thrilled, and I look forward to continuing the journey, you know, doing the wonderful work that we do, Ingeborg.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was really nice to be here and give me my time in your chair.
No worries. It's been a pleasure. I know you're going back to Holland. Safe trip and all that stuff. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.